I wanted to ask you this, Michael. I put together a quick list here of coolest movie cars ever,
Nice.
and I want you to tell me what you rate these. I'm very curious about. Uh, I'm very curious about these. Uh, so here's what I have, and tell me if I'm missing anything. But to me,
Sure.
these are the coolest movie cars ever, and I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, I have Ecto One from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's a
A plus.
staple. I have the Batmobile.
Which
But
one?
you know what? I thought about this. I just want to include the Batmobile overall. The one I always think of is the 1999 one.
Yeah.
Uh, I think of Michael Keaton's Batmobile, but I know they're all very different. I know the 60s one is like very different from the one Christian Bale was driving. So
Yeah,
let's say you like the Christian Bale one.
I like the Tumbler, but I
Yeah,
and if you saw the Batman, the car, and it's really cool.
I thought that actually might be my favorite outside of the Michael Keaton one. Michael Keaton
Mhm.
one, I'll always be biased. He'll always be Batman to me just because I saw him as a kid. That's who I grew up with.
Right.
But the Batman one is pretty sweet. So I have the Batmobile. Let's just say in this list, it's the Batman Returns one from '92.
Okay.
I have the DeLorean.
Yes.
I have the original James Bond Aston DB7. I'm talking about the one from the '60s, the silver Sean Connery one. And I have
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit. Okay, the Trans
Oh.
Am. The Trans Am is just the thing never like ran out of gas. It could just go on forever. So what do you think? What like wins here? What's your thoughts?
Oh, you got to pick a winner out of those.
Yeah, what do you think the best one is? I'll tell you what mine is. Ecto One by far, I think is the coolest.
Ecto One's the most original
Yeah.
because I mean,
Oh,
Batman, you had the template from the comics,
sure.
from the '60s series.
Yeah.
You know, they had the fin and all that stuff and the angles
Right.
um and Smoking the Bandit is just a great car,
Yeah.
but I mean, just think they imagined that Ecto One, and they even get it, and it's a hunk of shit. And when it comes out, it's
Right.
like the coolest thing ever when it comes out of that firehouse the first time.
It's a
Everyone
broken down
relax, I got a
ambulance
car.
that needs like $4,000 worth of work, which in
Yeah,
1984 was like 20 grand. You know, so the fact that it went from that to this cool thing, and those blue lights are still cool today. You know, those things
yeah,
were sharp looking when that thing was like piercing down New York. Um, Ecto One is the coolest. The Batmobile is obviously the most lethal. That thing could like it had everything in there. Um, but the Bond car for most lethal was probably a close second because over the years there was some pretty crazy, even to a point where it got ridiculous moderations to it. Like if you remember Die Another Day, they're like, it's the V8 Vanish. We call it the V8 Vanquish.
yeah,
We call it the Vanish, and it was the invisible one. And even
yeah.
then, you're like, oh, come on, guys.
He's
Like,
like he's like
no.
Wonder Woman. He's got the invisible jet in
Right.
car form.
It's like, what are you doing? So I don't know, man. If I to cruise around today, I'd pick the James Bond one because it's the least, auspicious one. The other ones you would just have to stop all the time and take pictures. But for
Right.
like movie cars, I don't know, man. Ecto One, they're just such a cool car. And the Ecto One or the Ecto One A that was in Ghostbusters 2 with like the green
Mhm.
lights and stuff. That was cool too.